I remember Tampa, the way she used to be, the places we would run to, the faces we would see. Yes, I remember Tampa, with precious memories, a city rising on the move, a simple yet progressive groove. Yes, I remember Tampa, she remembers me.
Welcome to the Tampa Native Show. Stay tuned now for the fastest 60 minutes in cable broadcast history. Live from the studios at TBCN, the home of the Tampa Native Show. Join your hosts, Mario Nunez, the 15-Minute Girl, and Steve Canella, as they celebrate growing up in Tampa. From Shock Armstrong to Shakey's Pizza, from Braddock Street to Buffalo Avenue. Get ready to call in and tell us your stories, because sharing your memories has never been this much fun. And now, Mario Nunez, the 15-Minute Girl, and Steve Canella.
Hi, Tampa Native Show fans. Welcome back to this, your Thursday night, 7 o'clock edition of the Tampa Native Show. So happy that you're there, wherever you might be.
Welcome.
And you know what? Sometimes you might be anywhere, because as Steve will be able to tell you here in just a couple of minutes, our show is now available online worldwide from just about any handheld device. Let me introduce our cast tonight. Seated next to me is
Steve Canella,
a.k.a. Tampa Steve. I'm Mario Nunez. Our 15-minute girl is not behind the glass tonight answering your phones because she's not feeling well. So, darling, get to feeling better. We miss you already. You know, it's difficult when you're used to having that three people set everything up, Stevie. You know, it's a little bit odd.
a little out of whack, you know.
Yeah.
And I heard she had a birthday just recently, too.
She did.
Right?
She did on
happy
Tuesday.
Belated birthday.
Happy belated birthday.
That's
You know,
right.
we got out of here last week with Elise Pask, and the show was fascinating. And it went so fast that I forgot to wish the mothers out there happy Mother's Day forthcoming, which Sunday was Mother's Day.
Right.
So
That's right.
belated Mother's Day greetings. We hope all of you guys had the opportunity, for those of us that are still fortunate enough to have our moms about, to call them and spend some time with them. And all moms out there, happy Mother's Day. Expectant mothers, I guess you can wish them a happy Mother's Day.
You certainly can.
Soon
Absolutely.
coming up.
Yeah.
And Sally, and happy birthday to you, darling. We spent that day together. That was kind of fun. Stevie, but you were missing in action last week, so I think this is high time now that you tell your fans out there, where were you?
Well, I was missing in action a couple times just
Yes,
recently.
you were.
In
Yes,
fact,
you were.
You know, we've been doing the show now for almost 5 years, 4.5 years, almost 200 shows. And I think about 3 months ago, I was kind of bragging, saying, hey, Mario, I don't think I've ever missed a show in 4 years, you know. Well, I missed 2 in the last month. Well, one of them, it was my girlfriend Jennifer. She had to put her dog down, very beautiful golden retriever. Very sad situation. That was a Thursday night, the night of the show.
That was the night with Copeland.
That was with Copeland.
That's right. That's right.
Last week with Elise Pask, I was in Fort Lauderdale for a week for training with my job at AT&T. Had to go there for classes from 4 p.m. to midnight.
Now, what kind of class? What kind of
know.
funky classes are you taking at 4 o'clock to midnight, man?
I don't know, but that was the schedule I was on, and so I couldn't make it that week either. So, but I hate missing the show. You know, I just
Well,
love
he was
doing
bragging like the Lou Gehrig of the Tampa Native Show. You know, hey, I never missed a show, man. Rain or shine, hang nail, it didn't matter. He was always here.
But things happen.
The streak ended, my brother. The streak ended.
It did.
Well, it ended
But
for
it's good to
me.
be back. It really is.
It ended for me, I think, when we did the RNC, right?
That's right.
That
I
was,
think-
the RNC 2-3 years ago.
That
now?
was your only show you missed, I believe.
I've only missed one.
I think, yeah. So,
Wow, so
you're ahead of me now.
All right, now there's a little bell ring right
There
there.
you
Hey,
go.
stand by, because in just a couple of minutes we're going to introduce our guest to you tonight. His son was with us 3 weeks ago. Tony Copeland More was with us 3 weeks ago. Tony is in studio with us tonight. If you can see here on the set, we've got some wonderful,
Oh, yes.
wonderful pastries. We've got a sandwich that's brand new, part of their new arsenal of beautiful, fabulous treats. We've also got a salad here that Tony's going to tell us about. Because, you know, it's not just about sandwiches and pastries. You know, sometimes the people in Ybor City, they have a moment of lucidity where they go, hey, we need to eat healthy. Can we have a salad? Well, this is a salad.
And while it looks good on TV, we can actually smell it right here.
Yeah,
It
we
smells
sure can.
delicious.
It's a mojo chicken Caesar salad, which
That's-
is
I love
mojoing
mojo.
the setup pretty good right now. The sandwich is fabulous, and of
yes.
course, you can see the pastries there. We'll get into that in just a little bit. Stevie, let's talk real quick about the Rays, man. You know, you've been bragging on the Rays early in the season. I
I've been
gave you a
saying
hard
that.
time about that. Where are they right now?
Well, they're second place.
2 games back
Yeah.
behind the Yankees.
I told you I had a feeling they were going to do good this
Their
year.
pitching staff decimated. Drew Smiley went on the 60-day DL the other day. Alex Cobb has to have elbow reconstructive surgery. And yet they're out there battling, and they're only in second place by 2 games. You know, it's going to be it's a long season. It's a long season, but let's see what happens. Also, hey, congratulations right now to our Tampa Bay Lightning.
I was just going to say
right,
that.
Tampa
Yep.
Bay Lightning, who are advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Go Lightning.
They got to play New York now, and the nice part about it is they play the New York Rangers, who this year they played them 3 times, 3-0 against the Rangers this year. If they'd have drawn the Capitals, it would have caused a problem. First of all, for Disney on Ice, because there was that whole controversy with Disney on Ice Saturday and blah blah blah. But the first game's going to be in New York, so you Disney on Ice fans, Frozen, whatever that thing is, I don't even know. Go ahead, you're going to have a good time with that.
That's right.
But they didn't do so well against the Capitals. They were 1-2 against Alex Ovechkin and the Capitals. So maybe it's better that they did draw the Rangers. The Rangers won in overtime last night, an exciting game.
Exciting. Really.
Get ready to send us your emails, your questions for Tony More. What's that email address, Stevie?
You know, that email address is goodtimes@tampanativesshow.com. goodtimes@tampanativesshow.com.
And you saw a minute ago, Becky got that scroll going across the bottom of your screen, letting you know the phone number, because we're going to take your phone calls in just a bit as well. And one more thing before we bring Tony on, Steve and I were talking a little bit before the show started. You know, I guess we're fortunate that we're here tonight for a lot of reasons, not the least of which, you know, today, Stevie, something was supposed to have happened that the science community has known a little bit about, although it was pretty hush-hush. What is it, Stevie?
I didn't hear about it until you told me tonight.
Right.
There was an asteroid, actually.
An asteroid.
Not to be confused with a hemorrhoid or some other type of rock, right? Or
Yes,
it's just,
or a hemorrhoid, as Steve said. I guess he said, not to be confused with the hemorrhoid. Why did you swallow that line? That was a good, funny line.
I don't know.
Let's take it again. Steve, what's happening today?
well, there's a huge asteroid.
There you go.
Coming today.
A mile wide.
Yeah, a mile wide. I think it's 1/8 of the size of Mount Everest.
It is?
And I'm assuming it either passed us already.
Yes.
Or it's going to happen maybe sometime tonight. I'm not sure. But hold on to your seats. You know.
Well, yes, and the truth be told, it's, you know, these things happen all the time. You know, space is space, and things are flying around in space all the time. But this particular asteroid, a mile wide, was going to be making a pass close to, you know, our orbit. And, you know, I mean, if something this big should ever hit the Earth, whatever's happening, and I hope, and I'm going to tell Tony this in just a couple of minutes. He can hear me now. He's right there. I hope that I have a La Segunda Central Cuban sandwich in my hand, and I'm about to take a bite of it at the moment of impact, because something that big ever hits the Earth, we don't have to worry about anything else after that. All right. So, with that said, let's bring up the 3-shot. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome Mr. Tony More. There he is right there. Steve, where's your laugh? Where's your applause track?
Oh, no, I need that right now.
We need the applause track.
Thank you for being here.
Tony More coming in to be with us
Pleasure
tonight.
having you.
We were just talking before we met you guys tonight, before we introduced you, welcomed you to our set. Tony, long-time Tampa native.
I was born here.
There you go. Can't be any longer. 3rd generation owner of La Segunda Central Bakery.
Yes, sir.
So you were not only born here, but you were born into that family, which was born into the bakery, right? I mean,
That's it.
let's be honest about that.
Great grandfather. Yeah.
Your grandfather.
My grandfather, my father, myself, and my son.
now Copeland, your son?
We have 4 generations working there. Hopefully, we have 5.
Oh, I know,
Somewhere.
I know you're going to have 5. This is too important, and it's like the Columbia restaurant, the same. This is just too important not to continue this. We talked about when we celebrated the centennial with you a couple of Thursdays ago,
Yeah.
3 Thursdays ago, which was an amazing event. The mayor was there. It's pretty cool. Rudy Fernandez gave a great account of your family's history.
He sure did. I learned some stuff that I didn't know myself.
There you go. And you know, you didn't know that, but Rudy's family, maybe you did know. Rudy's family is
I just found that out recently.
they're all connected.
And I went to school with Rudy at St. Lawrence Elementary School. Yeah, I sure did.
Yeah, Rudy's mother and Rudy's grandmother.
There you go.
And my father were brother and sisters.
Wow.
There it is.
I'll be darned.
That's close.
Small world. That's just like
It is.
Tampa.
That's West Tampa. That's Ybor
Yeah.
City.
West Tampa, Ybor City. I lived in West Tampa. The rest of the family was in Ybor City.
And elementary school, junior high, high school, we talked about it. Tell everybody where you went to elementary, junior high, high
I
school.
went Tampa Bay Elementary,
Uh-huh.
then West Tampa Junior High, then Jefferson High School, then USF for 4 years, and then Florida State for 5 more.
Education was important in your family, we should say, huh?
It was very important in our family.
And we talked about this. Listen, we're going to go right to the meat of the matter here early on in the show because I want to talk a little bit more. Okay, so it was West Tampa Elementary?
No, Tampa Bay Elementary.
Tampa Bay Elementary, that's right. Then West Tampa Junior High.
Then West Tampa Junior High.
Then Jefferson.
Then Jefferson.
Class of 1964.
1960. 64.
64,
Right,
1964.
yeah.
Then from there, University of South Florida.
Florida.
You must have been one of the first classes there.
I was in the original class.
There you go, the original
initial
class.
yeah.
And you came out of there with a degree in
Chemistry.
chemistry. Isn't that
that's
fascinating?
It is fascinating.
And then he went 5 more years at Florida State University. So when you study after you've come out with your 4-year degree, which is your bachelor's degree, what happens after 5 years? You are declared a doctor of
chemistry.
Yeah.
I had a PhD.
Yeah.
PhD, ladies and gentlemen.
That's amazing.
This man not only makes amazing Cuban bread and tremendo pastel de guayaba, but PhD in
But that's
chemistry.
why he makes amazing Cuban bread,
Yeah.
right?
Now, how does that apply, Tony? Let's talk. How is that?
Well,
how have you been able to?
I've been able to utilize it because, I mean, as a chemist, you're very precise in what you measure. And we have insisted to all our employees, especially the ones that are in charge of mixing bread, that everybody does the same thing. We tell them how much we want, what they weigh, how much sugar to put in there, how much salt, how much water, how much whatever. So it's always been a process, precision. Same thing when they make the pastries. They have a problem, they come to me. Say, hey, what's going on here? So let me look at your formulation and see what's going on. And we've been able to do pretty well that way.
We talked about that when you were waiting for you to come tonight. It's a system in place, and I think it's that consistency that you talk about that keeps your customers so very, very loyal. And 24 hours come around, and you get a new cycle tomorrow. So when you get to the, when your bakers start to show up in the morning, and the process, starts to evolve like it does each and every day.
Every day.
It doesn't vary too much, and it shouldn't. And that's what you're alluding to. That's why the product line is what it is. That's why you have such loyal customers.
Yeah.
It's like on autopilot, or just like a Swiss watch. It's run perfectly.
But without automation, as you would think,
Right,
because
right.
it is, after all, 2015, and you could theoretically push a button and maybe have all of these things happen. But this is all hands-on, Tony,
Systems
correct?
in
It's
place.
all hands-on. It's pretty much same as it was way back in 1915. Obviously, the equipment has evolved where it's better. I mean, the mixers are much, much more efficient than they were back in 1915 or whatever it was when the bakery started. We have, they used to cut the dough by hand and weigh it by hand, and now it's machine will cut it and scale it and weigh it. So every loaf is precise. It's the same scale, same weight as the one before it, the one after it. It's always the same.
Consistency.
And every shift does the same thing.
Wow.
I mean, we have a little variation in the kind of bread they make.
Sure.
Whether it's a large one, or a small one.
Sure.
What kind of shifts are there? Is it 24/7?
We are 24/7. We have a shift that comes in when I left there at 4 o'clock. They were just coming in. They will be through about 11 o'clock tonight. Another shift comes in at 11. They will be through somewhere around 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. The next shift comes in at 7 in the morning, and then we're back till 4 o'clock. So, I mean...
Those are the girls and the guys that we see when we're in there buying our treats at midday and our sandwiches.
That's the shift everybody wants.
Right. That's the preferred shift.
That's the preferred shift. The one that starts, 7 o'clock in the morning. It's almost like a normal job.
We never got to ask that question. I didn't get to ask that question of Copeland. I did get to, he divulged that you guys make, on average, about 15,000 loaves of Cuban bread daily.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And it makes sense because you have to have a 24-hour shift
Yeah,
to get that kind of capacity.
Oh, yeah.
There's always, you can only go so fast.
Right.
And when you get to those ovens, they're going to stop you. No matter how fast you are back there, the bread's not going to cook any faster.
Correct.
It's going to take us 45 minutes in the oven.
It's got to rise, too. The dough
It's
has to
got to rise. But, you can speed this process up or slow it down. But when it gets to the oven,
The oven is the oven.
What in chemistry we call it the rate determining step.
I like that. Let me get a little bell ring there. Rate determining stuff. I like that.
That's the one that determines how fast everything else goes.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's eternally fast.
We have some pictures of some Cuban
Yeah,
bread, too.
let's
Let's
go
bring those
ahead.
up.
Did you?
did?
Okay,
Okay.
let's go and
Okay.
show some of the family shots because these are great pictures as well. We want to establish, that Tony's not just telling us a story that he was born here in West Tampa and he's got West Tampa roots. Tony, what are we about to see here? And let's talk a little bit about this picture here.
That's my father, my mother, myself, I guess.
It looks like it, 1942-ish,
Yeah,
43.
well, I was born in 42.
So that's probably about 43, 44, maybe early 40.
Yeah. He was in the Navy.
Uh-huh.
He must have been on leave at that time because, I don't remember much about him until I was about 3 or 4 years old. So, he was there sometimes he wasn't.
Siblings? Brothers
I
and
have
sisters?
one sister. I had one sister.
Had one
Yeah.
sister. Older or younger?
Younger.
Younger sister.
See, I was pre-war.
And there she is there, what a
right
cutie.
there, that's Marilyn. She was born after the war. I mean, I was born right at 42. She
So
was
she was
born
about
in
46
46, 47. It's about 5 years younger younger than I was.
And she's the sister you said was the last graduating class of Jefferson
She
in
was the
69.
last graduating class in Jefferson, right?
She's cute, cutie patootie. And here, I like this picture here. There's a young Tony Moret with a head full of hair right there.
I know. I don't know what happened to it. I wish it would come back.
Life happened to that hair.
Yeah, that's my father.
So the same man in the previous picture? just
Same
to
man in the
get a
previous
little bit.
picture. That's the baby is Copeland. The little girl behind it is his sister, Suzanne.
Uh-huh.
I guess she was peeking at the picture.
Yeah.
He was just born there. So that was he just had his 35th birthday yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, did he?
Yesterday.
Oh,
Wow, that's
Yeah,
great.
May
May
the 12th.
No, May the 13th, right?
May the 12th. Must have been Monday.
No. We saw you when we saw you coming out of the Columbia on Tuesday.
Yeah.
That was May the 12th. Was that his birthday?
Yes, it was.
May the 12th. He has the same birthday as Sally, our 15-minute girl, my wife.
He was born on May the 12th.
Wow. Well, there's another May the 12th birthday.
Another
How cool is that? Now I got another excuse to go over there and give him one of those noogies and tell him, hey, happy birthday, man. If I'd have known it, I didn't even know. We walked out of the Columbia the other day, Steve. We're walking to the parking lot talking to people that we were having lunch with, and I looked to my left, and here comes Copeland with his dad. So I guess you were taking him over there for his
Actually, it was the board chamber meeting.
Ah, is that what it was? Okay.
He was being the president-elect, I guess, or whatever they call
Copeland?
it. Yeah.
Que
Oh,
chulo.
wow, look at that.
Man on the move right there.
Man.
He's the man of the move.
Yeah, he's
his,
everywhere.
His father was always this one.
Yeah,
I didn't
in
ever
the
want.
back- in
I
the
wanted
back.
in the background. I didn't want to be in the forward part. He loves being up there.
Well, he's got a
You're
great
mixing the
smile. You do
chemicals.
too. So, I mean, you know what I mean? Where did he get his height from? I asked him the same question.
Well, his grandfather was 6'2". His other grandfather was 6'2". So
There it is.
There-
it's
yeah.
gotta
Sometimes
become
it'll
from
skip
there.
a generation.
Yeah,
Could
his
do
mother is.
And she's tall? Yeah, Judy's tall?
5'9", 5'8".
Yeah. Where'd you meet Judy? Interesting. Come on,
Florida
let's talk
State.
about that.
She was. I was as a student at Florida State. Part of our job, or part of our description of our scholarship that I got for PhD chemistry, was we had to teach one class at the first year we were there, which were the labs, which are the ones that the major professors don't want to mess with because they got 150 students in there and it's a lot of paperwork.
So they get a student assistant to
So
get
they
in
put
there.
all the student assistants in there. She was one of the students in one of the classes that I had.
So aside from the PhD in chemistry, you had another kind of chemistry.
Yeah. All right, Stevie. We missed you, man.
That was good.
Ah, that was a good one. It's a good one.
Yeah,
Got
that was
you
a
with
good
that
one.
Tony.
Yeah, it was.
Yes, let's bring up another picture. Please do. Hi, wait, what's happening here?
That's the whole
Vale?
family.
Somebody was in Vale?
Yeah, we were the little one in the front. That's Copeland. The little girl on the left. That's Suzanne. That's my daughter. That's the middle daughter. The lady in there in the green. I guess it's green, blue,
Yeah.
green. That's my wife Judy. I'm the guy in the red and white jacket, and then the girl on the right hand side. That's my oldest daughter Jennifer.
Wow.
Nice. So Copeland was a baby. Not only that, but he had two older sisters.
Great photo.
Wonderful.
By the way, this came from Andy Hughes.
This is from the Andy Hughes collection.
It
Yeah,
sure
he
is.
He
Yeah,
loaned
that
this to
is.
us.
That was a picture they used for postcards when they were given. They had the formula for Cuban bread in the back, how to make it. You know, we can give you the formula, but you're not going to be able to make it.
Right. No. And we wouldn't try.
Oh, you can try.
Yeah,
Everybody
but why
tries,
would you
but
do
they say it
that?
doesn't come out the same. No,
We'll just
you
go
don't
there
have
and
you don't
get
have the mixers, you don't have the ovens, you don't have all the time it takes. Cuban bread is not mixed and made. It's a 6 to 7 hour process.
Absolutely.
And Tony, being in business so long and having so many customers, what about competition? How's that?
We had one time there was probably, let me see, when I started in this thing, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 bakeries making Cuban bread. Right now, there are 3 left.
Wow.
That we call, the long 36. There's a lot of little stores like Housewife Bakery, Florida Bakery that make something else. But it's down to about 3 of us.
Really?
And, we make probably 95% of all the bread in Tampa now, Cuban bread in Tampa.
Wow.
So the other guys are kind of small compared to what we are.
Not to mention the fact that if you're going to eat a Cuban sandwich, I mentioned this when Copeland was here, you have to have a Cuban sandwich made not only with La Segunda Central Bakery bread, but if you're smart, you'll have it made for you by the girls at the bakery.
Well,
because the bread can't be any fresher. And
No,
for
you're
me,
right,
for
you're
me,
right.
it's the freshness of the bread
Yeah.
that makes that sandwich.
Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, you have bread coming out all day long. I mean, the
Bread
can
coming
never
out
be
all
fresh.
day long. The minute that this is the other thing too, and this is what kind of sets the sandwich apart. When you cut the bread, PhD chemistry guy, when you cut the bread, it immediately starts to dry out. I mean, it's just a natural function of cutting the bread.
Yeah.
So when you got a restaurant that's cutting its bread at 7 a.m. to try to cheat it a little bit because they're going to get that rush at
Yeah,
noon.
they're going to get that rush.
By the time you get that bread heated again to try to re-energize it, it's not the same. If your girls are cutting the bread, splaying it open, and then loading it up and putting it on the plancha, come on, man.
Well, the plancha, like you say, that has helped Cuban sandwiches a lot. Because even if we go to, like you say, we deliver a sandwich shop at 5 in the morning, and we give you a sandwich at 11 o'clock, that's 6 hours bread already. But when they hit that press, la plancha, it just sort of, you don't really know the bread is all young or fresh.
Right.
It brings back.
It brings it back.
That's interesting.
Now, couple that with the fact that it's not old, it's fresh.
Yeah.
Then what does it do? It's not bringing it back, it's bringing it to another level
Yeah,
completely.
it is another level. You're right.
I don't know, man. I'm sold on it. Do I need to be sold anymore? All right, do we have any more
Yeah,
photographs? Because I want to talk about the food on the table as well. Then we're going to go to our phone calls in just a few minutes. Oh, look at this. That's the storefront right there.
Yeah, that's the storefront of the bakery. Yeah, that was done back. That was remodeled back in you say the late '80s.
And the new remodel that just happened within the last 18 months was very nice as well.
Yeah, the inside.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Very, very nice.
That was all Copeland's idea. I want to give him credit where credit is due. He did all that.
Attaboy, Cole.
So when you finished college, did you just went straight into the business after that, right? Or did you?
No, I actually I went in. I worked in industry for a year and a half. With like forensic chemistry, but I didn't like it. I mean, it wasn't what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to teach, but I didn't want to be a high school teacher. I wanted to go to university. So I ended up teaching in high school for about 2 years, and I taught at HCC back and forth part-time for many, many years. And then my father called me one day and he says, I need some help.
Some help.
I'm getting old. I can't figure these numbers out anymore. The adding machines don't work well. So I went in there with him and my cousin Raymond. Who had just come in. He was my uncle's son. It was my father, it was my grandfather, my father and my uncle, and then Raymond and I, and now Copeland and I. So there's your generation.
That's the progression.
That way, the progression. So I went in there with them, and then, at that time, everything was done with the pencil and the paper. I got to figure out Social Security and what it is. No. I mean, I know how to use a computer. So we went to the computers. Now Copeland has taken that computer to another level. I don't even want to think of what he does with it. I don't.
That's interesting.
But that's great, though. In order to get more out of it, more out of the 24,
Take advantage
24
of it,
hours, you
right.
got to maybe where you can.
The
Find an extra
technology.
minute or two where you can. We talked to Copeland, and when he took the podium at the end of the centennial celebration, and he was quoted in the newspaper as saying, everybody's always asking him, Copeland, what's next? What's next? What's going to happen next? And every time I get a chance, I tell him, I said, brother, if you ever get the notion to open up a little sandwich shop with maybe just a few pastries, your sandwiches, you could have I told him, I said, I got 3 words for you, Copeland, drive-through window. I said, have a drive-through window. He said, Mario, but what about the sandwiches? It's going to delay everything. I said, no, brother, come in to get the sandwiches, but just Cuban bread out the window all day long. So, but you got it, and of course the coffee to go with it, but have a little place where you can actually sit, because currently, we go in our cars and eat in our cars.
Yeah, that's one of the problems we have.
You
got to understand that when the bakery was originally where it is now, it was across the street, taken by the interstate, moved in there with a little small bakery, like just small front, about half the size of the front that's there now, And it was just, buy a loaf of bread, walk out. There was no pastries, there was just bread. And then it progressed to pastries, and then it progressed to a deli, and now it's where it is now. I mean, we got a lot of deli sales. We got, all kinds of new products coming in and out of there all the time. It's getting bigger.
It is getting bigger.
Wow.
And at some point, that's what I told Cope. I said, listen, I got the plan for you. I said, take that lot across the street, the one that you had the Centennial Celebration on, build a state-of-the-art production facility. State-of-the-art production facility.
Well, we have plans to do something like that. We're still them on hold right now because the Department of Transportation is
They're not sure what they're going to do with the interstate?
They're not sure. They said they might take it, they might not take it.
Oh,
So
no.
we really are in a holding pattern.
Oh, that's not good, Tony.
No, it's not, because we wanted to go forward, and now we say, okay, if we can't do it here, we got to do it somewhere else. That somewhere else, we want to stay in Ybor City. We don't want to leave Ybor City and go to some industrial park somewhere.
You can't leave the corner of 15th Street and 15th Avenue, Tony. That's sacrilege. What do you mean?
We thought about that, and I looked at, when they said that, I looked across Caddy Corner, which is still 15th Street,
And 15th and 15th,
Avenue.
right.
And there's a whole lot of property up there that might be available. There's also other properties somewhere else, and we also talk, like you said, he wants to open another cafe down on 7th Avenue somewhere. So, there's a lot of plans that right now are being put on hold because of this Florida Department of Transportation.
Okay, well, that's reassuring. That's reassuring because what Copeland told us that day at the Centennial Celebration, he looked right out into the audience and he stood there at the podium and he said, what we're going to do is nothing. We're not going to do anything. We're not going to change anything. And we all said like, oh, really?
I think what he
meant is
it's not change anything that we make like that. We're not going to change the product.
Right.
We're not going to change the
that formula ain't going to change.
No, the formula's not changing. The process is not changing. But we may have a new facility somewhere else.
Now that would be appropriate. I think it's time for you guys to actually, and for everybody, for your employees, for everybody, for your guests, your patrons.
Right.
Well, we are kind of crowded right now.
That's what I'm saying.
We're making a lot of bread in a small spot,
very small
and we
space.
really can't expand where we are. We had plans to build another building behind that building, and now we're sort of, okay, what now?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to spend, $250,000 or something to build a building, and then the interstate come and takes it. I mean, that'd be crazy.
You got to find out what they're doing first.
We got to find out what they're doing.
That's right.
Well, speaking of new products and things, how do you come up with the ideas for new ideas? Like, for example, the sandwich you mentioned, and is it your family?
Can we talk about the sandwich a little bit and talk about the salad and get ready
Yeah.
to call in, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to ask for your phone calls in just a couple of minutes. Tony, let's talk about.
Copeland wanted to expand what we had. We had Cuban sandwiches, turkey sandwich, roast beef sandwich.
Which are fabulous, by the way.
Yeah.
The club sandwiches.
Well, I love them.
Yes.
I like them. In fact, I'm taking some fishing tomorrow, but I don't want to.
Nice.
He said, we need some more ethnic type sandwiches. I said, like what? He said, something Italian. I said, well, we make an Italian sandwich. And he said, well, call it a Padre Nostro, because we have a lady that's been there with us 42 years. Her last name is Padre Nostro.
Oh.
So we developed that sandwich. He asked me to, what I thought, how to make it, and I gave him my idea. He had I forgot the man's name, but he came in there. He's a supposedly chef, expert chef, and we went together how I wanted to put together. So that's a great sandwich, and we liked it. And then he said, well, Copeland wanted salad, because we've had people ask, why don't you guys have salad? Everybody doesn't want to eat a sandwich every day or something like that. So we developed about the 3 salads, 4 actually. The mojo chicken Caesar, which is the one you see on the table there. The Caesar salad with chicken that's been marinated in mojo sauce.
This is the mojo chicken, which is delicious.
That was wonderful.
And they're ready to go. They're usually in the cabinet.
They make them fresh every day.
Yep.
The girl comes in there, and that's the first thing she does when she starts making, right about before lunch. We got to make sure we got to have them there, because most people nowadays do not want to sit there and wait. So we try and speed up the process as fast as we can. And Copeland's done a good job with that. He makes everybody move. You don't sit there.
And again, in a very small space. So if you haven't seen these employees working in synchronicity like they do, it's really amazing, because there's a small space behind the counter.
Yeah,
and then right behind the counter, you open up the door there, and the bakery's right. The offices are right here, so it's really cozy. And the girls that are making the sandwiches in the corner, they're making the sandwiches in tight quarters, but everybody seems
In sync.
In sync, and nobody's, smiles everywhere. It gets a little stressful because
It gets a little stressful.
It gets stressful.
It will do that.
Yeah, it gets stressful because a lot of people show up at that lunch hour, and if you forget to take a number, it could be a problem for you. You gotta get that number.
You better get that number. Actually, one of our busiest times is breakfast in the morning.
And breakfast
They
is
make
no
breakfast.
stress?
They make a breakfast sandwich, which is really good.
Oh, I bet they
We
are.
gotta get over
I
there
wanna
early,
try
Steve.
that.
We
You
gotta
gotta
get
try
over
that.
there
I
early.
love that. I have that every day.
Which is
every
the
day.
one? Which is the one? Which is?
Yeah,
I just have the bacon and egg sandwich.
Yeah.
But they have bacon and egg. They have bacon and sausage. They have bacon and chorizo, bacon and cheese, and all
Cuban
combinations.
toast.
You want all
Stop
three of
on the
them.
press the same way like the Cuban is.
Yeah,
Oh.
they do.
We've got to try that.
Okay,
We
okay.
I have to
All
try
right.
that.
Scrambled
All right.
egg, and they scramble the eggs right there. I mean, it's not like we buy a frozen egg and put it in there. We scramble
And
them
that's
up.
why La Segunda Central Bakery is as special as it is. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the phone lines are now open, 813-977-6800. If you have a question, a comment, something that you want to share with Tony, a special occasion, or something you remember as a kid, or just your family history as it relates to Ybor City and La Segunda Central Bakery, call us now and share that story with us. Of course, give us your bolita number for the drawing. We're going to be giving away tonight. Tony's graciously going to give away to our one lucky bolita drawing winner una rueda de pastel de guayaba, which is one of those. It's a nice little four set. What do you call it in English, Tony? How do you refer to it over there?
Guava ring.
There you go. Guava ring.
A ring.
A guava
Ring.
ring. A guava ring. So
That's good.
if you'd like to win a guava ring, easy for me to say. You got to call in to win and tell us your story. Okay? We're looking forward to hearing from you.
You know, we do have a comment already.
Please.
This is from Matt Roman. Matt Roman. Matilda.
Matilda.
She writes, my sister-in-law, Julia Roman Perez's first job
Yeah.
was at La Segunda Central. It was in the first location at 15th Street and 14th Avenue. She worked for the owner's parents, then went on to work at their current location. I know she must have worked there for at least 40 years. The best Cuban bread in town, Matilda Roman.
40
I remember Julia.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Her brother was a waiter at Columbia Restaurant.
Yeah.
for
Oh,
many,
yeah.
many
Joe
years.
Roman? Is that
Oh,
right?
no, that was her husband.
No.
Right.
No,
Joe
that's
Roman?
Matilda's.
Julia you're talking about.
Right.
Right. No, yes.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah. Julia was there for many, many, many years. I remember.
Wow.
Unreal. And you know what? The loyalty, and because you have employees that are there now, how long is it Sheila? How long has Sheila been there?
42 years.
Hey!
Wow.
A ring for Sheila. That's 42 years. We're getting the bells going
Man.
now. 42 years.
Yeah, we have some bakers that have been there over 30 years with us, and some over 25 years, 20 years. Most of our top people
Yeah.
have been there for many years.
And that's important
Well,
because
it
that
is.
leads to
Yeah.
that consistency. I mean, that's like,
your master baker is the one that mixed all the doughs. Most of them been there for at least 15, 20 years.
Right. Right.
that's fabulous.
So, they know what we want. They know how we want it
How
done.
you want it.
And they get it done.
Beautiful. Let's take our first caller. Caller, you're on the air with the Tampa Native Show. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Robert Gonzalez from West Tampa.
All right, so
Hey,
tell me, Robert. Hi, Robert. Tell me, how long have you been sitting by the phone just waiting to dial? Go ahead, Robert.
Actually, as soon as the phone lines are open, I picked up and dialed.
Oh,
Very
okay.
nice, very nice. Well, do you have a question or a comment for Mr. Tony More?
But I also went to Tampa Bay and West Tampa also.
All right.
One thing I want to tell you, something that happened to Carrie and I. We were shopping at Publix, and Carrie we were almost through, and I left Carrie to go to the bakeries. I wanted to get something, and they announced over the intercom that they have fresh Cuban bread right out of the oven. So as I was going to the bakery, they were wheeling on the big cart all the Cuban bread, and the man was pushing it out, said, "Here, have a sample of Cuban bread." And it was hot and it was good. But I go, "This Cuban bread you guys made here, real Cuban bread?" And he go, "Yeah." I go, "No, it's not." I go, "Real Cuban bread, 36 inches long.
Oh, no.
This is just a glorified fresh bread."
Right.
They gave it to the wrong person.
It's a hybrid. It's a baguette. It's Italian table bread, but that ain't Cuban bread, man.
That's right. And I told him, I said, and real Cuban bread has the palmetto leaves in it.
You called him out on that.
Very good. Very good, Robert.
That's great.
Great story, Robert. We're going to talk a little bit about those palmetto leaves in just a minute because Tony's got something special to say about that. So get down there early one morning because apparently those breakfast sandwiches are amazing.
Yes, and Carrie told me, because Carrie and I plan going out tomorrow morning. Okay, so let's go over there and have breakfast.
And you'll see
great.
Tony. He'll be eating his bacon and egg sandwich every day
I eat
too.
one every day, man.
Oh, that's wonderful. Give us your bolita number.
37.
37 it is. Thank you so much for being our first caller tonight, Robert.
Okay.
We
Thank
hope
you.
you win. and you sometimes do.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you, Robert.
All right, so long. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That's great.
That's a great
Give him
call.
the number again, Stevie.
That number is 813-977-6800. We want to hear from you. Emails, goodtimes@tampanativeshow.com.
And if you can't call in, you can email us. Just make sure that you include your bolita number, because who doesn't want to win a guava ring?
I want to.
Who doesn't want to win a guava ring? Now, talk about the palmetto leaves.
The palmetto leaves. Each loaf of bread, 36 inches long, like the man just said, takes at least 3 leaves, sometimes 4.
3? I didn't know that.
Yeah, you got to be overlapped. You know, you can't have a gap.
Not from a PhD chemistry guy, you can.
No.
Anyway, you figure we make anywhere between 15 and 18,000. There's your palmetto leaves right
There it is.
there.
Wow.
It takes
15,000,
How many thousand?
45,000 palmetto leaves a
a
day?
day. Well, actually, it would be half of that because each leaf is
Cut 'em.
split in half.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They
you could
split in
tear them.
half.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we get shipment every day of
Wow.
that stuff.
That's unbelievable.
Every
incredible.
single day. We
And
have
it's one guy that brings them to you?
one guy. I imagine he got a couple of guys working for him because
Absolutely.
he does other bakeries besides us. But he said we by far take
Oh, you
all
kill
the
it.
leaves.
You kill it.
We're killing them.
Wow.
Oh,
That's
my
incredible.
goodness. So
He always
what-
asks us,
now,
how many guys we got working today, man? Because
don't-
it goes, it'll vary from 24 to 30 at this time of year right now.
Right.
It used to go down, but now it's not going down. It's staying up there.
Wow.
Man, that's
we,
incredible.
we're picking up customers daily.
So here's a question for you. It's kind of it's a logistic question, and it's a legal question. Is it legal to harvest those palmetto leaves, man? Does this guy have to like dress in ninja gear and go out in the cover of night?
Most of the time, they have permission to go where they are.
Okay.
I mean, we have had times where the sheriff has called up and said, I got this guy saying he's getting palmetto and he's really, in no man's land.
Yeah, he shouldn't be here, and he's mentioning your name.
Yeah, I mentioned your name. Is it true? I said, yes, it is. He said, okay, we'll let it go. But most of the time, these guys do have permission to go where they're going.
Good.
I mean, they know better because they're going to get stopped.
Yeah, of course. And then
Wow,
and the
that's
need
right.
is there, the demand is there. 15,000 loaves, 3 to 4 per loaf.
Those numbers are amazing.
Yeah, that's staggering.
And, it's
And
getting
that's
harder and
every
harder
day.
to, they have to
Forgive
go
me.
further and further out.
7 days a
week.
week.
You need the computer now. You can't have the little adding machine.
Yeah, no, adding machines don't work anymore.
No, now you see why. Now you
Yeah.
see why. Caller, you're on the air with the Tampa Native Show. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Charlotte Palmer from Riverview.
Hey, Charlotte,
Hey,
nice to hear
Charlotte.
from you.
Yes, I remember going in there several years ago and getting sandwiches when they first kind of started them. They used to have like an Italian sandwich with some olives on it, kind of like Castellano had years ago. And they used to have like some type of chef salad with the best ranch dressing.
There you go. You remember that?
Yeah.
But it's been years.
Well, get back over there. What are you waiting for?
Oh no, I go there all the time.
Oh,
anytime I'm
okay.
in Tampa.
Been years since you had that sandwich.
Right. Oh yeah, but I need to try the new olive one that's like the muffaletta.
That's not bad too, and I can imagine that on fresh Cuban bread's got to be spectacular.
I've got the olives. Yeah, that's the whole thing. The olives are with.
The olives.
Can't
green-
go wrong
the
with
green
olives.
Just ones
We
are good. Like
have,
you said, it's always a hard decision in between the pressed Cuban toast and the pressed cheese and bacon
Oh,
Cuban
just get both of them.
You know what?
toss-up.
And it would probably behoove you to park your car a good distance away so you can at least work off some of that. You know what I mean?
Park across the
It's-
street.
Yeah, park
Usually I-
across the street. That's what we do.
After I'm downtown at the corner, it's back at the office, and then you walk to it.
Oh my
Right.
goodness.
But I used to go to school up the street at St. Paul's.
Oh yes, of course.
Years.
Of course. So give us your bolita number because we got it. We're getting a lot of calls right now.
I'm
But
26.
26. Charlotte, thank you so much for calling.
Have a great day.
Thank
You
you,
as well,
Charlotte.
Charlotte. Thank you, hon.
Bye.
Bye bye.
She's called before, hasn't
Yeah,
she?
of course.
Yeah.
Charlotte Palmer.
Uh-oh.
Stevie, you can. Yeah, because I
take
got to
this
do this
one.
writing too. Go ahead.
Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Rudy Fernandez.
Hey, Rudy
Hey,
Fernandez.
Rudy.
There's Rudy Fernandez.
We were talking about you earlier.
You were. I heard you. I was flattered.
Very nice.
Thank you for calling.
So, Rudy, we understand that your family at some point, I guess, changed your last name from Fernandez to Fernandez. Now it just goes by.
That's correct. I'm now Fernandez.
We teased about that because you told us that story the day that you gave us a wonderful history lesson, by the way, on the Moret family, which at one point Mure was the way that family name was spelled. Is that correct?
Well, actually, it was originally Mure, and it was pronounced like M-U-R-E.
There you go.
But it was spelled M-O-R-R-E-R. Sometimes it was spelled M-O-R-E-R, and sometimes it was spelled M-O-R-E with an accent. But when Juan came over to Tampa, from then on, he spells it More.
With the accent.
Correct.
So Catalunya to Havana, to Cuba to Ybor City
Exactly.
was the migration of the More story.
Interesting.
Exactly. So he could just as easily have called it Spanish bread or Catalan bread or Tampa bread. But
How lucky for us, huh?
I know. Thank goodness.
yeah,
Or Ybor bread.
he could have done that.
Cuban bread just fits, though.
It does. It does, because, you know, if he had called it something else, we'd all be calling it the wrong thing now.
That's right.
Yeah, we'd be calling it an Ybor sandwich.
It wouldn't be right.
It just wouldn't be right. So what else you got going on, Rudy?
Well, nothing much. I thought Tony would tell us a little bit about why the loaf is 36 inches long and how that relates to a nail and a horse and wagon.
Very good. Good prompting. Good prompting.
Why 36 inches? That's a good question. I've
Or
thought
why
about
long and narrow?
It's probably because it was a yardstick and that's the easiest thing to measure with. But really nobody knows why 36. I wish they would have made it some other size, because every piece of equipment that we buy for 36 blades has to be special made for us. The oven has to be special made.
Wow.
You know, the
So
rack,
36 inches didn't do anybody any favors.
No, it did. I guess the restaurants and stuff favors, because they have
See, what-
5/8,
yeah.
4 9-inch sandwiches, or 2 12s and 2 8s or whatever.
There's
comes
the
out
math
to
skills
36.
again coming
That's
into
it.
play. There's your math skills
the
again,
math
Tony.
skill comes
No,
into
Rudy,
play.
I had a conversation with Ray Villadonga about that very thing, why 36 inches. And he thought it was because the 36 inches, and I want to say it was during the war perhaps, that it fit, it was very stackable, and it fit properly in the back of one of those wagons. That
Could be.
That makes
that
sense.
was the logic that he employed. That the carrier in the back of the wagon was 36 inches long or thereabouts, and that they stacked perfectly in the back of that for delivery.
Makes sense.
Right?
I'll buy that.
It works. It fits. Whether that's the truth or not, we don't know for sure, but it definitely fits.
My understanding is the people that were delivered bread had a nail on the side of their door next to the mailbox. And Tony's grandfather would slap the bread on the nail, and it was delivered to the doorstep fresh that way.
Absolutely correct
I've
on
heard
that.
that too, yes.
That's verifiable fact. And it was, I guess, to keep it up off the ground,
Yeah.
so that the omegas and the bugs or whatever, it wasn't going to be there very long anyway, because you're up, you're getting ready for school or work, and you're listening for the wagon or the truck to come by,
And you're waiting for that bread.
and you're waiting for the bread.
There
Yeah,
was
exactly.
horses and wagons, and then migrated to trucks, and then migrated to public grocery stores, because the home delivery actually stopped. I would say back in the 80s, we had delivery, house-to-house deliveries up into the 80s.
Hey Rudy, how about when you get ready to retire, and then all of us hit that age where we're ready to retire? We come out of retirement. We retire long enough to come out of retirement, man, and then we get Tony to buy us, just maybe a small fleet of scooters, and we go around delivering bread again,
scooters.
man.
With a nail?
Us,
Yeah.
us.
We ought to do it on horses like they did back
No, I ain't on no
That'd be
horse,
fun.
Rudy. I didn't say nothing about no horse, man. But a little scooter would be all right, a little Vespa, with a little. All right, maybe I'm just.
Well, we're going to go back in
crazy.
time.
Hey,
again,
Rudy,
right?
give us your bolita number.
On 33.
33. All right, Rudy. Anything else you want to add, Papa?
No, man, you guys are doing a great job, and keep up the good work.
Thank
hear
you,
from you,
Rudy. We
Rudy.
always like to hear from you. We appreciate it.
All
And
right.
we'll have you on the show here shortly. And if your
Yes.
dad's available, bring him in too.
You got it.
That'd be great.
Thanks, Rudy.
All right.
Bye-bye. That's
What a great guy.
What a great business too. I mean, because that was another thing. The delivery guy, like the milkman, very let me get it right on there for you. Very, very popular guy in the mornings, man, in the neighborhood. The kids getting ready for school. You know what I mean? You're just looking for that bread, the hot
The
bread.
milkman, the bread
One of-
man, all that.
The Charlie Chips man.
Yeah.
Didn't they deliver coffee too? Didn't
Yeah.
they?
Oh, yeah.
I would assume they would have delivered coffee
Yeah.
as well.
I would think so.
In the little bags. I remember the little bags of coffee being delivered. Wow. Do we have any more pictures, Beck? Did we get through all the
It's
pictures?
Funny you mentioned
Okay, thank you. We'll get to those in just a second. I'm sorry, Tony, go ahead.
Vespa scooter.
Scooter?
Up until the late, I would say, when I was there, in the 90s, we had an old man that used to come every day to the bakery on a bicycle with a big basket on the side. He'd load it up and go deliver around the neighborhood.
You see?
Wow.
That's kind of a
long
cool,
gone services.
What a cool Tampa native
Mm-hmm.
service to provide, man.
That'd be so cool to have a picture of that.
And by the
wow.
way,
That'd be-
we could wear these shirts that are very sexy. On the front, it could say the Tampeños. How about that? How about that?
Tampeños.
The Tampeños, and then on the back, of course, this one doesn't have it, but we would have 100 years with La Segunda Central logo. Rudy, you and me, man, and Steve. We'll get on those little Vespas, we'll wear those ridiculous helmets, and we'll deliver Cuban bread.
It's kind of dangerous.
But we won't put it on a nail, though. We won't put it on a nail.
No.
Maybe now, because
The health-
we have a sleeve.
The health department won't let you do it.
Yeah,
that
we'll
way.
just
You
drop
have
it on the sleeve.
You know, it used to be in the old days.
Like a newspaper, we'll just throw it.
Yeah, loaf of bread, no wrap, no anything. Now
Nada.
it's got to be sealed and stuff. You know, all that.
Sealed with a little twist tie.
Yeah, twist tie. Yeah.
That's too labor intensive.
No.
Okay, maybe we'll rethink this thing, Rudy. I'm not sure. Hey, we've got 2 lines open, 813-977-6800. Becky, show us another photograph, please. Let's see what else we got up there. Oh, there's Copeland. Where was he going here
Copeland.
dressed nice?
I don't know. Where was he there? I don't know. That's Copeland and his wife Stephanie. I'm not sure where they were. Or where
Going
they're
on holiday. Copeland's got a big smile on his face wherever
Yeah.
they're going. They were going on vacation, probably just for a few days. 'cause
Probably, and
can't be
then,
that long away from the
which
bakery.
means that my wife and I had at least one child, maybe 2.
That's right. That's right.
You were babysitting.
Abuelo and abuela. Who's that?
Oh gosh.
Lovely little baby there. Is it a New York Yankee outfit? A little baseball outfit. Is that Copeland? Is that one of
that's
Copeland's
not
babies?
Copeland. I think it's me.
I think it is.
Is that? Wait a minute. That can't be you. Is that you, Tony?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure who that
We have a
baby is.
big, ladies and gentlemen. If anybody knows who this child is, please call the Tampa Native Show
Maybe I made a mistake
immediately.
and got the wrong picture.
Yeah, that's Copeland and the newest daughter,
I think-
Margaret.
I think Steve was Googling some pictures and he found a photograph. That's
know
like
where you got that
the
one
picture of the
from.
guy in your wallet. You know, who is that guy?
Who's
Why
that
is he
guy?
in my wallet?
Why is he in my wallet? Yeah, that's all the
That's a great
grandchildren.
picture.
Those are the grandchildren this past Christmas. The one on the far left is Grady. He's the oldest. The little one that's there, the next one would be Margot. The girl that's holding her is Katie. She's my second daughter, Suzanne's daughter. Lillian is right next to her, that's Copeland's oldest daughter. Then the next little young man there is James. He's Suzanne's son. And then you have Davis and Henry on the right. Those are Jennifer's 2 sons, and Grady's the third. So
Great
she has-
smiles, all of them. And Lillian was amazing the day of the Centennial de Cuerda when she
Yeah,
almost walked up on stage behind her
She
dad.
did. She wasn't behind her dad, and you know that night when we went to her house, she would stand on a platform and make believe she was talking on a microphone all night long. I mean, she is just a funny little
There's
kid.
your 5th generation. There's your 5th generation.
Oh,
bakery.
she's probably ready to take over now.
No, she's wonderful. And it made a great picture and it came out in the newspaper. I hope you guys got to see that in the newspaper.
We
that's
saw
great.
it. We
Yeah,
saw
we got one more picture back.
Yeah, that's the new front with Copeland on the left and me on the right. That's our remodeled.
It really looks nice in there.
It does look nice.
It really
yeah.
looks nice.
I wasn't-
Splash of color.
I wasn't too happy when they first, all this wood and all this stuff and the black ceilings, and now it really looks nice.
It's grown
It
on you, huh?
really-
Yeah.
It really, when I started going up, it really said, you know, you're right, this is a good looking thing this way.
The sugar and the coffee is
Yeah.
on the other side now.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a little different layout. I'm sorry.
Oh
Steve.
no! How old is that building itself? I mean,
The building was built, the original building was in the middle 60s, 64, 65.
Okay.
And then there's been, you know, numerous expansions, and then I went back, and then I went left, and then I went back some more, and then I went left some more, and then I went back, and then I went back, and then I went finally where it is now.
nowhere to go but up now. Right?
Well, that's the only way we can go right now because of the way the building slopes down. You know, it's got a roof, sloping roof. It just, you know, ran out of room. We ran out of ceiling. You know, we need high ceilings in a bakery like that where it's so hot.
Oh yeah.
I think that I'm going to hold out hope that the State Road Department and the Highway Department will render whatever decision they're going to render and allow you guys to then make the move that you need to make.
Yeah.
Because the truth of the matter is, when you guys get a new place that's built to your specifications with Copeland's input and the technology that's available today, I can't imagine how many loaves of bread you guys are going to be able to produce. Not just that, but you know, you know, it's like it's like Tropicana Field. We talk about it all the time, man. You know, that was it was built hastily.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily with, I'm with you. That same face that you just made, I would make it again because I want our fans to see that face. I'm with you.
And I love baseball.
I love baseball.
I go there a lot.
You know, that stadium drives me nuts because it's just,
does.
it's a dungeon. It's dark. It's dank. It's not conducive to anything, really. But let's say now in another unit in time, they have the opportunity to design their stadium to spec.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Everything that's going out in the last 15 years, everything that's being built in the last 15 years is amazing.
It is.
You know, you've got Hall of Fame, this and that. You've got interactive play areas for the kids over there. You've got food courts and everything's spacious and open. Well, I can imagine if you guys get the opportunity in the next few years to build a place, it could be a magnificent, it could be a palace. You know, it could be like, okay, this is where you're supposed to make Cuban bread. You know, look at
Well,
this.
you know, if we ever, whatever the state renders, we will do something. Copeland's hope is always to expand the deli area, front area, where people can sit down.
Yeah,
like
that
you
would
said,
be
they
great.
can
That
sit
would be
down
great.
and eat. As it is, when we remodeled this, I told them, guys, we need to put a bench. We need to have people sit down when they
While
wait.
they're waiting.
While they're waiting, because everybody's standing up in that one little corner. So we put benches, and then it has helped.
It's
People-
helpful. Yeah, it is
has
helpful.
helped.
The other thing I was going to suggest too is, like the old silver ring, I think it would be kind of a special treat if you had a portal or a window, you know, in your new place, so that the people can see the bread being made.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? You see the bakers actually,
Right.
you know, stretching it and rolling it and
Or a
putting the
video,
palmetto leaves.
maybe a TV screen with a video on it.
Or a flat screen up there with an educational thing. There's all kinds of options. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
and Copeland's on top of this, I'm sure.
He is on
got
top
a
of
couple
it.
emails
I
here, too.
guarantee you that if he anything he can do to promote the stuff, he will do it.
Sure. And you can, and I told Copeland this, I'll tell you the same thing. You can always count on us here at the Tampa Native Show.
Thank you.
To do the same.
Absolutely.
What you got, Steve?
Yeah, we've got a couple of emails that just came in. This is from Mike Marino.
Oh, Mike, okay.
Yeah, he writes, in 1974, I started a little restaurant in downtown Tampa, Franklin Street, called Stay Healthy. From that humble little place, 4 more restaurants opened and continued until 2009 with my last place in Seminole Heights. All my Cuban sandwiches over the years, I used only the super tasting La Segunda bread. I owe so much success to this man and his superior product. Thank you, La Segunda. And also the Tampa Native Show for bringing back all these great memories. Can I have Bolita number 56?
You got it. Thanks,
got it,
Mike
Mike.
Marino.
Yeah.
That was a very, very heartfelt
Yeah, it is.
and wonderful
And we have another
email.
one too, it looks
56 coming up.
like. This is Suzanne Hester.
Okay.
Lost the show for a bit, but watching it now, we have Storm here right now, so maybe that's what
okay.
happened. But she didn't give us a Bolita number. Suzanne, send us a Bolita number if you get a chance.
So the show went off. Oh, stormy.
Yeah, I think
Stormy
she
night.
lost her connection, is what it sounds like.
Rain or shine, people are making Cuban bread inside of La Segunda Central.
All
You got
the time.
3 shifts,
3 shifts,
round the clock,
round the clock.
5 minutes to
The
go.
only day we have a little bit of rest is Sunday, because we don't produce 15,000 on Sunday. We produce
okay.
about maybe 4,000.
So,
Wow.
so
And then you know you only have 1 shift on Sunday, so that's the
is
time.
the front open as well? It is, right?
Oh, the front is open, and they actually expanded the hours because we've had so many requests to be open on Sundays, to have the deli open on Sundays, because we used to close it down. And, you know, if you close, we used to close at 12 o'clock. You know, you can't open at 8 or 7, prepare all that stuff to make sandwiches and breakfast, and then close at 11 or
Right.
12. I mean, it was impossible. So we moved the hour down to about 3, and people are buying sandwiches and coming and getting stuff, which, you know.
Trust
know-
me.
they know your
Trust me
schedule.
when I tell you, Tony, I have been in a race against the devil because I'm looking at my watch and I know it's 20 minutes to 2,
Yeah.
and I know they shut the planchas off. They used to shut the planchas off at 2 o'clock,
Yeah.
and I would sometimes call ahead going, "Look, make my sandwich, I'm on my way." But now Cope says it's open till 5, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
So they're making
Yeah,
sandwiches. And,
we
you
make.
know,
Yeah, they used to shut down the deli at 2. Now the deli stays open all day long.
because the demand
great.
is there.
He's the man there.
People don't realize.
I know. That's
you
huge.
know, they just think of Cuban bread and pastries.
Yeah.
They don't really consider the deli, but once they do go in there and they have their first opportunity to experience
know,
it, they come back.
It's like you know, they say we used to close at 2. Well, you know, you got to close all that stuff, clean it all up, get it ready to go, prepare for the stuff for the next day. So now now that they were there till basically 5 o'clock, you know, the planchas probably close at 4 or something like that.
Right, because they got to clean up.
They got to
gotta
clean
be ready to
up,
go at
and
5.
but you know, they start cutting all the meat and all the ham and all the cheese and everything they got ready to go. And so when they come in tomorrow morning, it's already
all
set
set
up.
up.
You do realize you have an amazing staff. You do
Oh,
realize that
yeah,
your
yeah.
employees are
I guarantee
unbelievable.
you that, you know, we have close to 50 employees, and they're all top notch.
Yeah,
they're all
awesome.
great.
That's awesome.
They're all really good employees.
Well, thanks for what you do. That's
what
amazing.
you see here on the table is made every day fresh with love. And you should probably have an experience of your own. And it's not just this. There's a whole palette of things waiting for you there. And Tony, you're in pretty good shape for having worked in the bakery all these years. I mean,
Well, you can only eat so much of that a day.
I got it. You're right. You're right.
And I'm dying to try those breakfast sandwiches too. I can't wait.
Oh no, that's
You will love the breakfast. I guarantee you will love the breakfast
I gotta do
sandwich.
that
There
next.
is
Grab
no
those
better,
later. We'll
there's
do that.
no better
Let's do it.
breakfast sandwich in the city of Tampa anywhere.
And again, take into consideration that the bread is absolutely fresh.
Yeah.
So, it can't be any better. All right, Tony, get in there and grab one of those. The cold one or the one with lead? Either one of those.
The cold, the one with lead.
Yeah, those are the
The
ones.
old style.
Of course.
Bolita.
That's how we do it.
Well,
Wow.
the low
That's
one.
number 6. I don't know if we have anything lower than
I
6.
don't think so. Closest
No,
two without
we
going
don't.
over. So.
Yeah, no, everybody went over.
No?
Okay.
Okay.
You want me to get another
Yeah,
one?
2
the
minutes
next one's
left.
going to be right on the money. He's going to pick Rudy
We're
Fernandez,
going way in
33
the
right
bottom,
on the
the
money.
cold, the real cold one there.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner is
72.
We got one now.
think I know who it is.
72 is going to be Mr. Mike Marino.
That's right.
Attaboy, Mike.
Congratulations, Mike.
Mike, you've won a guava pastry ring, a guava ring.
Yeah, yeah.
So get over there at your first opportunity. Say hello to Copeland, Tony, Mike Marino. That's the gentleman that wrote that nice
Okay.
email just a few minutes ago. Anything you'd like to add before we sign off tonight?
No, you guys, I appreciate you having me here. I've had a good time. I was kind of nervous being on TV like this.
Pretty good, huh? Pretty easy to do.
It was pretty easy.
You
It was
did
pretty
great.
easy. I will admit that.
And can we also add
We
to
didn't know
that how much we appreciate you and Copeland always stepping up and being sponsors of the show, because we count on our community of sponsors to help us, and you guys are great to us as well.
Well,
So
thank you.
Thank you for that.
Thank you for what you're doing with
Next
the
week, ladies and
community.
gentlemen, Yoli Capin will be here.
Well, that'd
City
be-
Councilwoman
yeah,
Yoli
that'd be
Capin. So if
interesting.
you've got questions for her, get those ready to go as well. Let me just say, Becky Yata, you are the best. You are the greatest. We couldn't do this show without you. 15-minute girl, we miss you. You're going to be here with us next week, I'm
better.
sure. Everybody with their cups up. Tony, thank you so
You're
much for
welcome.
being here. On behalf of everybody that puts this show together, especially Becky Yata, who's done it all tonight by herself, of course, Erica Hudnell, right there by her side helping her. We'd like to say salud
And
happy
happy days.
We love you, Tampa,
And we'll see you next week.
and we love La Segunda Central Bakery.
We sure do.
That was a Spanish park, wasn't it? Salud and Happy Days.
That was at Valencia Gardens?
Valencia Garden. Valencia Garden. I knew
Bye-bye,
I couldn't-
everybody. We're going to eat
See you
now.
next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Back when we were younger and everything seemed new, we used to have a lot of fun, yes we did, no matter what we do. Sleepy days, long summer nights, going anywhere we please, with love that I could call my own, love that I've always known, the city that I call my home, a home from which I never roam. This love affair was meant to be. I love her and she loves me. I remember Tampa, oh, she remembers me. She remembers me. I remember, yeah, yes I do. Oh, I remember, yeah, me and you. I'm a Tampa native, Tampa native, can't you see? I will share my story with you to preserve its history.
All right now, don't forget, Thursdays, 7 p.m. on TBCN, home of the Tampa Native Show.